Hello, my name is Alex, and this is an educational video made in collaboration with Studio 3. Whilst I'm an actor playing a character, the source material is based on lived experience. As a warning, this video does contain graphic descriptions of self-harm. I like to cut myself. Did you know that? Does it make you feel weird? Gross you out? Started when I was 15, maybe younger. But I've always felt it, this desire to feel pain when everything gets a bit out of control. When I was younger, like really younger, I used to bite myself. You know that fleshy bit by your elbow? I used to sink my teeth into it like some weird vampire. But it didn't really work because my brain knew it was my elbow. Just like they say, you have this ability to chew off your own finger, but your brain won't let you. So then I started to cut myself. And over time, I developed this routine, a ritual. I'd be downstairs and I'd feel this need, so I'd walk upstairs without saying anything to anyone, but they all knew where I was going and why. I'd open my bedroom door, sit on my bed for a bit, and then grab a chair, take it to the wardrobe, stand on it and grab this bit of cloth that I kept up there. And then I'd sit down and open the cloth and there'd be all these razor blades I collected. And I'd spend some time choosing which razor blade I was going to use, like, I don't know, like I was going to sacrifice or something. And then I'd look at my arms. Is it a left arm day? A right arm day? And then I'd sit and cut and cut and cut until a single drop of blood fell to the floor. Why do I do it? I don't know, I always feel better afterwards. Clear-headed, restored, back to reality, I guess. Princess Diana self-harmed. Did you know that? Yeah, people always think that self-harmers are teenage girls and it's always about body image or boyfriends, and I don't know, maybe for some people it is, and maybe for me it was at some point, but you never think the nation's sweetheart, a princess, would do something so undignified as sit and slice up her own limbs, do you? But she felt it too. She felt overwhelmed and this desire to feel pain. Do I want to get better? Yeah? I'd quite like to go about my life like normal people. Things go wrong with everyone, right? But for some reason for me, I tally them up in my brain and I go home and I think about them obsessively, and it just gets to a point that by the end of the day I feel so like I'm going to drown. So then I have to do it. I have to do my ritual. And you do want to get better. You do want to ask for help, but it feels like no one's really paying attention to you. Like they're hearing you, but they're not really listening to what you're saying, right? So something has to give. Like a boiling kettle or a piece of elastic being stretched too far. Something has to break. So instead of feeling the pain on the inside, you inflict it upon yourself on the outside. I know what you're thinking. That I'm just an attention seeker, right? Like, what could possibly be so stressful in my life that I feel the need to inflict pain on myself? But don't you think I don't know that? Don't you think it makes it worse that I see everyone else going about their lives normally and coping with things, but here I am, making note of every single thing that goes wrong and letting it build up and feeling that need to do my ritual? Just makes it worse. Do I want to stop? Yeah. I want to leave this place. I want to go home. I want to find a way of being normal and coping with things and not needing to cut myself whenever anything gets a little bit difficult. I just don't know how. So what do you think? Any ideas? Hello, it's me again. Do I look different? I feel different. When I think about what I was like 2 years ago, it just seems like a completely different person. Like, I was just so angry all the time, but I think I was in denial about how I was truly feeling. And I just thought, well, this is it. I'm always going to be like that. I'm always going to have to do that ritual. And then I managed to get help. Studio 3 taught me all these psychological reasons about why I was self-harming. And it really helped to explain to me that self-harming was an addiction for me. And I had no idea about childhood trauma or that my parents' divorce as a child had actually affected me more than I realised. And that things I witnessed as a child, like abusive relationships, actually had an impact upon me, which is why I was self-harming. And then Studio 3 taught me about the biology of self-harming. Like, I didn't know this, but when you inflict pain upon yourself, it releases this hormone, which is why it feels so good. And then with that, they taught me about all these coping mechanisms that I could do instead of self-harming. So one of my favourites was taking an ice cube and putting it in the palm of my hand until it released this burning sensation, which released then that hormone, that self-harming release. But I no longer need to inflict pain upon myself. I'm going to be honest with you. The self-harming didn't stop straight away. And it even got to the point that I was trying to hide it because I wanted to believe it was working. And I wanted the people who were helping me to believe that the methods were working as well. So I started picking places they couldn't see, like the top of my arms or the top of my thighs. And the more I learnt about why I was doing that to myself, the more I realised there are other ways to cope. I didn't need to be self-harming anymore. Even just talking about it to someone else helped. And the scars have healed or healing, and yes, there are still difficult times and darker days, but I feel more comfortable about talking to people. And I want you to know, you can ask for help. It will get better.